Welcome back to the Midnight Who Show, and today we're going to review Ravenous 3. Of course, we've gotten previous box sets, Ravenous 1, Ravenous 2. I thought these have been pretty decent box sets. You know, this finally introduced the Ravenous toward the end of it, and they were very okay. You know, we didn't really get too much kind of knowledge about them. That, of course, all changes with Ravenous 3. So, of course, there is, 4 stories in this box set. As always, we have Deep Time Frontier, we got Companion Piece, Legend, and The Odds Against. So, for pretty good stories, I really like how they expand the whole Ravenous plot, and they also really just are great stories. So let's first talk about Deep Time Frontier. So, of course, this box set left it off where the Doctor lost his TARDIS. Of course, the 11 has the Doctor's TARDIS, and basically they have to find him. But they have to they get transported to a Gallifreyan research station where trouble is brewing as the Ravenous are getting closer and closer. And I really like this story because it really expanded the Ravenous. We get to learn a lot more about them, and we can actually really see how scary these creatures are. They feed on the Time Lords. And you generally see the Doctor very scared in this, which I really enjoyed, because you don't really see the Doctor actually being kind of scared of something. You can really tell that the Ravenous are a huge threat to them. And he also has to protect not just himself, but he also has Liv and Helen to protect. So it's definitely, you know, a very scary creature. As we can kind of tell, we kind of saw it right in this one because I know the box set. You can kind of, that was the Ravenous in the seizure when we first got to properly get introduced. And as you can tell, they look very much like clowns. It's kind of a very kind of scary thought. But they also are very kind of like a clan-like creature. Deep Time Frontier definitely expands on the Ravenous a lot more. We get to learn basically kind of why they hate the Time Lords even. They hunted them, the very early pioneers of Gallifrey, and they basically trap them in this kind of bubble vortex, and they're very clan-like, and they basically sound very scary. I really like the sound design on the Ravenous. They have a very scary kind of voice. Deep Time Frontier was a very great start for this box set. I really enjoyed it. I really like how it expanded on the Ravenous a lot more, and it definitely was a great resolution to this episode of the previous episode. They did a great job with it. And that ending definitely led into the next story, which is probably going to be one of my favorite stories in this box set, which is, of course, Companion Piece. This was a great story. I really enjoyed this one a lot more than I thought. Basically, in Doom Coalition 3, we met another version of the 11, of course, the 9. And this story kind of picks up after Doom Coalition 3's kind of final episode where we met the 9. And he's basically, you know, he basically finds the clocksmith's TARDIS, and he steals it. And he runs into River Song. Of course, River Song, he's kind of captures River Song, and he's like, I got the Doctor's companion. I should get more of them. So he, of course, goes throughout time and space and captures the Doctor's companions. There are some really cool surprises in the story that I'm not going to spoil in this review. They are just very enjoyable, and you really enjoy them. But, of course, the main companions are, of course, Charlie, Helen, Liv, and Bliss. And of course, River Song kind of picked these kind of companions to kind of join a team to stop the 9. I really like how River Song's kind of like seeing like, oh yeah, that 9, you can go to capture this companion. She's giving all this, but she's really forming a team that can stop him, which I thought was really great. I really enjoyed River Song in the story. I think she was really a great addition to it. And she was used a little bit different than she was previously used in the other box set series, Doom Coalition, so that was really nice, and it was just really awesome to get a little bit more of the 9, and you also get to see the Doctor's companions. Like, Charlie was great to hear Charlie again. Bliss, this was a pre-Doctor Bliss, so she, of course, had no idea who the Doctor was, which was awesome. I like how Helen and Liv basically accidentally walked into the 9's TARDIS. So for him, that was an easy start to his Doctor Who companion collection, which is kind of hilarious. So yes, there are some really great little surprises in there. The story is just fantastic to listen to, and whenever you listen to it, you're just going to really enjoy hearing some of these surprises. So, 3, 2, 1. So yes, I really enjoyed this story for all the callbacks to Doom Coalition, and basically all these Doctor companions, they were referenced very well. So yeah, overall this was a fantastic story. probably might be one of my favorite stories in this box set. John Dorney did an amazing job writing this story. And I really liked the 9. The 9 was really good. I really liked him. He's probably as crazy as the 11, which is awesome. So yeah, another great story for this Ravenous 3 box set. To the third story in this box set, of course, Legend. I will probably say this is probably the one I enjoyed the least amount, but I do believe that's just because I listened to this after Companion Piece, and I really enjoyed Companion Piece. This story I felt was a very interesting idea from Matt Fitton. I actually really thought it was a very interesting idea to bring the Brothers Grimm. You know, I really enjoyed that. I thought that was a very good element for the story. And, you know, that's just a really kind of a fairy tale type of idea, which is very reminiscent kind of a story in this one with the fairy tale of Salzburg and Better Watch Out. Kind of felt very similar to that. And I really like to see a little bit more of the 11. The 11 is in this one. Now he is kind of becoming a companion in a way, because in his eyes the Doctor and him have to kind of team up, because the Ravenous are out them afterwards. The Ravenous are right on their tail. And I like the 11 in the story. He's really good. The 11 in this story, you can also tell that, you know, Liv is kind of like, really? We have to trust him. We have to let him on the adventure. And I think this continues a little bit into the 4th story too, where she's just not kind of wanting to have the 11 there, because he might just be messing with them, and or how can you trust the man who basically tried to kidnap them or, you know, take their TARDIS. I like the idea of this box set to have this story to have a little bit more of a, it's very kind of felt a lot more standalone. It definitely took a little bit away from the kind of whole overall Ravenous, but it was a very good idea kind of incorporating the Brothers Grimm, because those fairy tales are very interesting, and I thought that was a very good idea for this Doctor Who story. So let's move on to the finale, The Odds Against. And wow, this was an amazing finale. It was very kind of, had a lot of kind of tricks, very sets up the next box set. It gets me really excited. And I'm not going to talk too much about it because I want to save this story for anyone who wants to listen to it, because there's so many surprises in this story, and you're going to really be like, wow, they're going with that. So this is definitely a story I want to kind of keep a little spoiler-free and not talk too much. But I will mention that we get to see the 9 again after, of course, Companion Piece. He gets attacked by the Ravenous, and he also is in the story. He kind of interacts with the 11, which was awesome. You know, that's something you just don't see very much, seeing kind of these two versions of him just interacting, and it's just all madness. It's great. And basically the story takes place as the Doctor and Helen, Liv, and even the 11 are going to a place where they think the kind of start of this kind of prison for the Ravenous is, and there's some mysterious inhabitants that doesn't go too well planned. Everything's kind of laid out for the next box set as plans are being developed, and it all gets ready for that final cliffhanger, and it definitely gets me excited for where this box set will go, and it definitely makes me say that the 11 is an amazing villain. All his incarnations are amazing. He is a great Time Lord that Big Finish created, and I think they have nailed him in this box set. He is very cunning, he's very clever. So that is Ravenous 3. It is an amazing box set. I really enjoyed it. You know, I definitely, you know, these were definitely okay box sets. You know, to me, I definitely like the idea of once we introduce the Ravenous. But in this box set, the Ravenous are really developed. They give them a lot more backstory, and I am really excited for where this box set goes to in the 4th one, because if you don't know, it's going to be a bunch of masters. We got Ravenous, and just so much happening, and I'm really excited to see what's going to happen in the 4th box set. And I'm probably also excited because it's going to have Eric Roberts' Master versus the 8th Doctor again, which is awesome. This box set was great. Definitely take a listen to it if you haven't. And if you guys listen to it, tell me your guys' thoughts on it in the comments below, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye, everyone.